Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about some of the best new drugstore products that have recently come out in 2020. So if that is something you're interested in watching, you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
All right, you guys, so we have a lot of products to talk about today. The drugstore space has been busy when it comes to new releases. Some of these products I've actually really come to enjoy over the course of the last couple of months that I've been trying them. So these are products that have recently been released, products I've recently discovered in the drugstore space, and I am going to start kind of in the way that I do my makeup. So of course, first we're going to start with a brand new primer. Now, Revlon has released an entire line of primers. This one is the Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing. Now, they have a couple of different ones. They have like a mattifying one. They have some hydrating ones. This one is just the Perfecting and Smoothing primer. Now, one thing that I really like about this, number one, is that it has B5 and hyaluronic acid. This particular primer is going to be best for skin with uneven texture, fine lines, and acne scars. So this is more of, again, like it states, like a smoothing primer. The consistency of it is very much like you would expect a smoothing primer to look like. It's that kind of clear, transparent type of texture, and it really just does a great job of acting like spackle. Not only does it hydrate with the hyaluronic acid that's in here and it kind of plumps out a lot of fine lines, but it also fills in any texture that you have on the skin and it gives you a nice hydrated base. In addition to that, I have found that it does extend the wear time of your foundation very nicely. So the brand new Prime Plus line from Revlon, I absolutely love. These retail for about $13.99, brand new this year. So do we all remember the Tatcha Silk Canvas when it first came out? This is like the mini version of it. Boy, the drugstores really did kind of scramble to find dupes for the Silk Canvas, and a lot of them came out with some dupes that actually were really good. For example, e.l.f. came out with the Poreless Putty Primer. I really liked it. The only thing I wish is that it wasn't as drying or mattifying as it is for me. That was the only downside to this, was that it was just a little too dry. Makeup Revolution also came out with their own version of it. This is their Pore Perfecting Primer from Makeup Revolution. Same concept. Now, the one thing that I do like about this one is it is just a little bit thicker, and I feel like it does a better job of actually filling in the pores. However, e.l.f. has recently come out with a brand new putty primer, and it is their Luminous Putty Primer. So this basically acts just like all of the other putty primers from e.l.f., except this one is supposed to have a little bit of a glow to it, a little bit of a luminosity to it, and you can see there it does. It's like this kind of golden glow that it has. I like it. I don't necessarily notice that it gives my entire face when I put it on, that it gives my face any kind of a radiance that you can actually see through the foundation. I actually can notice that there is that, that dewy shininess that you can see here on the back of my hand. You can see that on the face when you first apply the primer, but once you put foundation on top of it, that luminosity goes away, which is unfortunate because it does work just like the other putty primers do. It does a great job at like filling in pores. However, the soft kind of luminous finish that this provides before you put foundation on, it just doesn't translate through the foundation. Now, the one thing I do like about this is that it is packed full of hyaluronic acid, so it is much more hydrating. They do recommend that you allow this to set for a good 30 seconds before you go in with foundation, so there is a little bit of a set down time, so keep that in mind when you're using this one. But overall, for $8, it still functions as a good pore filling primer. I just think the luminosity on this is just a little bit lost because, again, once you put your foundation on, you just can't tell that you have a luminizing primer on underneath your foundation, which is kind of the point of having a luminizing primer, that you have a nice healthy glow that shines through. And for me, this one just doesn't do that. But again, for $8, it is a good pore filling primer. Next up is a product that I was actually really excited about. This is the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Bronzing Essence. This is basically like a liquid bronzing product. So, a couple of ways that you can use this. You can add a couple of drops to this to a moisturizer. You can add a couple of drops of this to a primer, your foundation. I actually like to just take a couple of drops of this and drop it directly onto a beauty blender and just bounce it in the areas that I would typically bronze my face. I really like this product. It's a nice liquid bronzer, so it comes out very liquidy and it just blends into the skin and it gives your skin this really pretty sun-kissed, bronzed up glow. It is a stunning product from Flower Beauty. Not only is this essence infused with really pretty golden pigments in here that just deliver a very buildable but natural glow. Again, it's very multifunctional. It hydrates the skin. You can drop it into your foundation or into your moisturizer and you get just a little under a full fluid ounce. It's like 0.97 fluid ounces, I think. So you get quite a bit in here and it retails for around $15. I think if you pick this up at Ulta, it retails for $15.99. But this is a beautiful product from Flower Beauty. If you really enjoy that kind of sun-kissed look on the skin, I would definitely recommend that you give this a shot. This is an amazing brand new product for 2020. All right, so that brings us to the very first foundation of this rundown, and it is from CoverGirl, and it's the brand new Skin Milk from CoverGirl. It comes in a little pink and white squeezy tube like this. I got the colors 550 medium and 540 light. 550 ended up being a little bit closer to my skin tone, but boy, oh boy, you want to talk about a radiant foundation. So a couple of ways that I would describe this particular foundation. Very, very radiant. So it is incredibly shiny. It leaves a really, really dewy, healthy look to the skin. It's also incredibly sheer, so you're not going to get a whole bunch of coverage from this particular foundation. But this foundation is infused with things like coconut. You have aloe in here. So you are even going to get a little punch of niacinamide out of this product. What you're really going to get out of this is more of a dewy finish that blurs imperfections and just creates a more even skin tone. Now, that look does last for quite a long time. So even though you're just kind of evening out your skin tone and giving yourself like this beautiful glow to the skin, that look actually lasts for about 6 to 8 hours, which typically with that kind of a radiant, glowy type of really sheer moisturizer slash foundation type of a product, usually you don't get a lot of longevity out of those products. This one, on the other hand, lasts a pretty significant amount of time. So who is this going to be for? This is going to be for somebody that doesn't have any imperfections that they want to cover up on the skin. This is going to be for somebody that just wants to maybe even out your skin tone a little bit, give yourself a really, really pretty glow. You're not looking for any significant amount of coverage, and you just want a way to make your skin look really healthy, then this will be the foundation for you. If you're looking for coverage, then I definitely would not pick up the Skin Milk from CoverGirl. However, again, if you're just looking for really sheer coverage, it does have a very beautiful radiant glow. This retails for like $11.99 a pop. And again, with ingredients like coconut milk, aloe, niacinamide, it does have some really good for you ingredients. For me, it just doesn't have enough coverage. So for me, that was the only downside. But this, again, another brand new product from the drugstore in 2020. Another brand new foundation in 2020 from the drugstore is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Foundation. Now, this is the Silk Foundation Elixir. So this is a very serum-y, elixir-y type of a product. It comes in a dropper. It's very, very runny. Actually, putting this product on the skin was really super interesting. I'll show you guys that footage here. But the Organic Wear Silk Foundation is infused with like jojoba oil, aloe vera, coconut oil. You have cactus flower. So there is a lot of oily, moisturizing ingredients inside of this elixir. So if you have dry or normal to dry skin, then you're gonna love this kind of an elixir. It's ultra nourishing, very, very fluid, but it is incredibly weightless, and all of the products used for this are organic as well. If that appeals to you, that particular feature is part of this product. So again, not a whole lot of coverage out of this foundation. This is more of a skin perfector. So if you're looking for something very, very hydrating, but very lightweight, that gives you a little bit of evening out and perfecting of the skin, then you might actually really like this one. For me, this one was just a little too moisturizing. It is very, I don't want to say oily, because eventually it does settle down just a little bit and it's not as oily as it was when you first apply it. However, it is really, really hydrating. So I would say that this is going to be good for somebody that has like excessively dry skin and you're looking for something to really nourish the skin throughout the day. It does give you a beautiful finish, again, with the dewy finish. You do have this kind of perfected skin-like look. You do get a little bit more pigment out of this one than you do the CoverGirl, so it's like a step up from that, but still nowhere near a full coverage foundation. They do say that this is buildable, but I would say this is probably buildable up to a very, very sheer foundation still. I don't think you're going to be able to build this one up very much simply because it's so hydrating. I think eventually you'll put too much on and you just won't be able, it'll just move all over the face and be a slippery mess. So you're only going to be able to build this one up to a certain point. But again, if you just use a little bit, it's enough to just perfect the skin, give you a very healthy glow. Maybe this would be a really good everyday kind of run to the grocery store, just a quick fix type of elixir for somebody that has really, really dry skin. So yeah, that is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Silk Foundation Elixir. Now this one does retail for $16, so this is $15.99, which for the drugstore is a little bit up there, but with ingredients like jojoba oil and all of the other hydrating ingredients that are in here, it definitely justifies the price tag. But for me, this one was just a little bit too hydrating, and I never thought I would say that about a foundation. Next up in the foundation category is actually kind of a relaunch. So Milani is recently relaunched their cream to powder foundation. So in their relaunch, they've said, hey, you know, our most popular formula, we've improved it, we're relaunching it and expanding the shade range out to, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're busting it out to like 22 shades. So they've really expanded the shade range. So they've relaunched their cream to powder foundation, and I decided to give it a shot. So it comes in a compact that looks like this. When you pop it open, it's just a cream foundation. It's a very creamy, and it does kind of set down to like a powdery type of a finish. Now, of the foundations that we've discussed so far, this one is a little bit more buildable than the other ones. Still not going to be like a full coverage beat, but you are going to get close to medium coverage out of this particular foundation. In addition to that, they are saying that this is going to give you a soft matte, camera ready type of a finish. This is made with lily and bamboo extracts that are supposed to control oil and shine for up to 16 hours. It's supposed to be a very long wear formula that's sweat proof and waterproof. It also is antioxidant rich with vitamins A and E and green tea to help protect your skin. So those are all the claims of the foundation itself. Now, the problem that I had with this, for me, this one was a little bit on the dry side. Now, like I said, the coverage was there. You get a little bit more coverage out of this one than the previous foundations that we've talked about. This one you can get up to a good medium, but once you get there, it does set down and it is a little drying. And I think for me, that's where that bamboo extract and all of the oil control functions of this foundation kick in. It's supposed to be a super long wearing foundation. So you're supposed to be able to wear this for 16 hours. It's supposed to be waterproof and sweat proof. So it really does kind of lock down on the skin. And because it's oil controlling, it does really dry down. So I think for oily girls, this might actually be a foundation that you enjoy. The soft matte finish is really nice, but for me, once this foundation is sat on my skin for about an hour, for me, my skin just dries out. It's just too drying for me. But like I said, if you're combo to oily, you might actually like this one. For the most part, I love the actual feel of this. It is very lightweight. Unlike a lot of cream foundations, it doesn't feel very heavy and cakey on the skin. You can just put a light layer of it on, and it just gives you this really pretty kind of soft matte finish to the face. And as long as you don't overdo it with this, you can really get some pretty coverage out of this. I think this would be a great product for teenagers as well. Even girls in high school that just want to swirl a brush around in here, swipe it around the face, and have it last them through the whole school day. It isn't like a full coverage beat, but it's enough to give you some coverage, control oil throughout the course of the day, and last you for your whole school day. So this might be a good one for the younger kids, but as far as like maybe the 40 plus crowd that deals with a little bit more of some dry issues when it comes to our skin, I don't think this is going to be great for us. So Milani relaunching their cream to powder foundation in 2020. Next up, let's talk about some drugstore concealers. Now, you guys know this is an area where I am a little picky, but I do have some concealers in here that I actually really enjoyed. One of them was the NYX Born to Glow concealer, which is funny because I actually hate the foundation. So the Born to Glow foundation was not a foundation that worked for me. I didn't like it at all. The Born to Glow concealer, however, I really like. So the first thing about this is it is one of those sponge tip applicator type of components, which I don't necessarily mind, but it is what it is. This one also retails for $9 as well. I'll show you guys what application looked like here. Now, this is a micro pearl infused illuminating concealer. So it does a good job at blurring imperfections and adding that instant radiance and brightening, especially underneath the eye where we want to brighten the appearance of dull, dark circles. So I love that. The built-in puff does allow for very quick and precise, no fuss application, and it really does let you kind of dab and blend on the go. You can throw it in your purse for touch-ups. Another thing I like about this particular concealer is that because it has such a beautiful radiant finish to it, I like using the darker colors for contour because it has a really pretty kind of radiant glow to it. So I actually really like this concealer. I like the way it sits in the under eye area. I think it does a great job for somebody that deals with like really deep set dark tear troughs here, because that brightening effect really offsets the shadow that those deep tear troughs can cast oftentimes. And the hydrating ingredients going on in here, the vitamin E, etc., is great for people with dry under eyes like myself. So I like this one. The NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer was a surprise for me. This one I actually really like. Another concealer from the drugstore that has recently come out that I actually really like as well is the Physicians Formula Natural Defense Concealer. Again with the squeezy tube. Now this one actually has an additional feature that I really like. It does allow you to open and close it with a twist similar to the Charlotte Tilbury components, so that you can lock it and you don't have to worry about squeezing out excess stuff when you don't mean to. So I really like that feature. But again, this does have a squeezy tube. Now this is part of their natural defense line, and the natural defense line always talks about like protecting you from like the blue light rays, digital rays. So it's supposed to kind of protect you from pollution. This also has an SPF in it as well. So it's supposed to protect you from sun rays, blue light rays, and pollution. So you're supposed to have like a triple protection concealer here. I don't know how much I buy into the whole Blu-ray thing, digital ray protection, but whatever. It does have an SPF of 30, however, but I do like this concealer. I'll show you guys application here. The reason I like this is because it does have what they call the miracle blurring formula, and whatever that is, it does blur out fine lines and wrinkles very pretty. I like that. And it also has that typical Physicians Formula Total Defense Complex, which does help to reduce the signs of aging, the appearance of dark circles, fine lines, wrinkles, blemishes, redness, etc. So I like that about Physicians Formula, because you know you're always getting some kind of a treatment with just about all of their products. But this concealer in particular really lays beautifully in the under eye area. It does a great job lasting throughout the course of the day. I like the blurring effect that it has on a lot of my fine lines and wrinkles and the texture that I have underneath my eye. And I'm pretty picky when it comes to concealers, and this was another winner for me. Now this one retails for $11.49, and you can get it at Ulta or anywhere Physicians Formula is sold. Speaking of redoing and relaunching products like Milani did with that cream to powder foundation, so has Makeup Revolution. So if you guys will remember their Conceal and Define Concealer, when it came out, everybody was like, oh, this is the cheap version of Shape Tape, and lots of people loved it. It was their ride or die concealer. Well, Makeup Revolution has completely revamped that formula, and they are calling it the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite. So this is the brand new 16-hour wear Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. So it comes in this huge bottle, same doe foot applicator, also has pretty much the same shade range, which is pretty expansive. They have a lot of different shades to choose from. I'll show you guys application of this here so you can see what is a little bit different about this formula. So this formula has 16 hours of wear now with 20% more pigment. So they say this is going to give you 20% more coverage. Now, the difference with this is they're saying it's suitable for all skin types. So they're going to say it offers full coverage while remaining crease proof, cakeless, breathable, and that this is going to give you more of a natural second skin finish. The thing about the Conceal and Define that I personally didn't like with the original formula was it was just a little too drying for me, much like the Shape Tape. This has so much more pigment in it, so you get so much more coverage from this particular concealer, but in addition to that, it's not as drying as as the original formula was, which I really, really like. So I definitely think this was an improvement on the original Conceal and Define formula. I like the revamp. I think they did a great job. It does retail for $10 a pop. You can pick it up at Ulta. So this is brand new for Makeup Revolution for 2020. And again, I definitely think this is a huge improvement on the original formula. The coverage reminds me a lot of the Jouer coverage, where it's just really, really pigment heavy and you just get this kind of blanking out type of an effect when it comes to a concealer. I love that. So yay for the 20% more coverage and pigment, and I'm glad it's not as drying as the original formula. So I'm liking this revamp. Speaking of Jouer, if you have seen recently, they've offered these little stick versions of their concealer. And I know we're not talking about high end in this particular video, so I will save this one for later. But if you're looking for a really inexpensive, cheap version of that concealer, never fear, Catrice has you covered. Now, Catrice has always been one of those brands that's very hit and miss for me. There are some products of theirs that I just absolutely can't stand, and then there's some products of theirs that are like life-changing for me. I'll give you an example. The One Drop Weightless Concealer for Catrice is still front and center on my vanity because I love this concealer. It's so hydrating, and I don't think you're going to be able to get a more full coverage drugstore concealer than this. It is a beautiful concealer, especially if you deal with really dry under eyes. It's infused with hyaluron, so it really keeps the under eye area nice and hydrated. Well, they recently came out with their Slimatic Camouflage Stick. So you get that same type of beautiful coverage, except you get it in this cute little stick version. It's a very slim concealer stick. It only retails for $6.99, but this is waterproof, it's sweat resistant, it's really, really creamy and really, really full coverage. It's enriched with vitamin E and jojoba oil, so it's really, really hydrating. I will show you guys putting this on here. The one thing I really like about this is it's a very long lasting, and it has a lot of pigment in it, so it is very full coverage. It is a very, very creamy texture that is incredibly easy to blend. It's beautiful to cover dark circles, brighten the under eye, or get one that's really close to your skin tone and apply it to any imperfections. You just dab it with your finger for really, really beautiful results. I actually have a couple of these because I really like using the darker ones as a cream contour, especially down the nose. And I have a couple of ones that are a little bit lighter for highlighting down the nose, the chin, the forehead. And I love using it underneath the eye because I love the formula. It is a really creamy, very rich, very pigment heavy concealer stick, and I love it. For $6.99, it's another one of those products from Catrice that is like an unsung hero. They just released it and it's amazing. It does a really, really good job. And for $7, you guys, you just can't beat it. Great product. Essence has actually come out with a brand new mascara called What the Fake. Now, don't get me wrong, Essence, I forever will love that princess mascara that they have. It just does a beautiful job on your lashes, but I really like this What the Fake volumizing mascara. Now, they say this is a volumizing and lengthening mascara, but because this is a fiber mascara, I find that this does a really good job of plumping up up, thickening up your lashes. So if you have like really sparse lashes and you're looking for a way to darken them up and really kind of thicken them up a little bit and make them look really nice and pretty, then definitely check out the What the Fake mascara. I'll show you guys application of this here. The one thing that I really like about this is that it is enriched with those nylon fibers that give you this incredibly thicker look to your lashes. Now they say it's going to give you this false lash type of a look, but I don't know that it necessarily goes that far. Another thing that I really like about this is the black. It's so black that I really just like that intense pigment. Not a lot of lengthening happening with this particular mascara, even though they say it's a lengthening mascara. I don't see a whole lot of lengthening in there. However, the volumizing properties you just can't deny when it comes to this mascara. It does have a very interesting wand on it as well. It's very long, and it gets really narrow here at the tip, which I find is really comfortable when it comes to actually applying this, because it really allows for you to get into those little lashes on the outer edges of the eye that typically get skipped. So I really like the wand in this one as well. Overall, I really like this mascara, and again, it's Essence, so it's like $4.99. It's a really good mascara. Lasts all day. With a lot of fiber mascara, I find that you get a lot of flakes and stuff down here as the day progresses, and this doesn't do that. So overall, I think they did a great job with this one. Again, another new drugstore product that has come out in 2020, and this one is a hit. I find myself reaching for this a lot, almost as much as I've been reaching for my Bambi eyes lately. But again, this one is really good for those really thick, beautiful, volumizing type of lashes. So if you love that look, definitely recommend. Also brand new from the drugstore is a brand new line of lashes from Ardell. Now, the one thing I love about these is these are based on real life lash extensions that we all go and get done at the salon. So when you go to the salon to get lashes put on, they allow you to select what type of a curl you want. You can get like an A curl or a B curl or a C curl, and it just determines how that lash kind of curls out from your eye. Now, dependent on your eye shape should depend on what kind of curl you choose when you go in to get your curl extensions. And that's what the system of lashes is based on for Ardell, and I really love that. So this particular one is a D curl. It'll say it up here in the corner. It's a D curl, and this one is made for almond or close set eyes. So this lash is designed just as if someone with almond close set eyes went in to get extensions. This is the type of lash that you should get. You should get a D curl that's a little bit flared on the outside. And I love that they have built this entire collection around that concept. They have lashes for hooded eyes with a C curl. They have lengthening lashes. They have lashes specifically for the mono lids, eyes that are set far apart on your face, like the ones that are wider set. They have all different shapes, sizes, and curls based on what your preference is. And again, this is called the Extension FX line, so definitely check them out. This particular one is the Eye Widening Effect lash, and I really like it, but this whole line is actually super cool. So if you haven't had a chance to check these out, definitely check them out. Last but not least, let's get to lips. LA Girl on the Ulta website has come out with a whole brand new line of lip liners. They're called the Perfect Precision lip liners, and these are like $2.99 a piece, you guys. I love these lip liners, and I love the shades of them. As you can see, they're these beautiful kind of nudie type of shades. I have one that's more of like a plum type of color, more of a nude, and then one that's really good with all of the brown type of lipsticks that I have. And they're all, you know, just basic lip liners, but the formula itself is really creamy. It goes on beautifully. If you guys are looking for a good lip liner that's going going to last you a really long time, but you don't want to invest $20 in a lip liner, these are $3 a piece, you guys, and they're really good. So definitely check these out. Again, these are the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liners. The formula is very effective. They last a really long time, and the colors are gorgeous. They have a whole bunch to choose from. Definitely worth the $3 spend. Next up from Milani is their brand new Ludicrous Gloss, and you guys, so this is their brand new gloss, and they say that it's gloss so glossy it's ludicrous. But what I love about this is how stunning these lip glosses are, you guys. This has like next level shine to it, and very original, beautiful. I don't know how to describe it. So for example, this one is called Whatever. It's like this brownish kind of color, right? But the sparkle that's in it, it has all of these different kind of sparkles in here that just pull off this beautiful effect. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see here. I'm going to show you a close-up of the actual gloss tube itself. Maybe you can see what I'm talking about, but it gives the most stunning effect on the lips. But I'll show you a close-up of this here. So the Ludicrous lip gloss, they say, has next level shine, and it's got a pop of color in here just so that you get this kind of bombshell type of a look. It is ultra moisturizing, and it is super comfortable. And the way they describe it, which is a really great way to describe it, is that it gives you like a 3D shine, which gives this illusion to your lips of volumizing your lips, kind of plumping up your pout a little bit because of that 3D shine that it's giving to your lips. So and that's what I love about this, is the way that it reflects light. It does give the illusion of like plumped up lips. Here, I'll show you. So let me put it on. I love the color choices they've got here too. They have like nudes and pinks, and it's not a sticky gloss. It's not a gloss that you're gonna hate because you feel like you have a really heavy sticky gloss on your lips, but it just gives your lips this beautiful, really pretty shine that just makes your lips look so plump and so juicy. I can't. The Ludicrous lip glosses from Milani, you guys, if you have not had a chance to check these out, they're $8.99 a piece. You'll be seeing them at the drugstore. Look at the color combinations that they have with the different shimmer and sparkle colors that are in there in combination with the pigment that's in there. There is just some stunning combinations that look really, really pretty on the lip. It takes a lot to get me excited about a lip gloss, but the Milani Ludicrous lip gloss is really phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Now, we all know that Milani is infamous for their Keep It Full plumper, like their plumper, the glossy plumper that everybody has really liked from Milani for a really long time. They have some more colors. They've expanded the color range a little bit. This one is like a nude shimmer. So definitely check out the plumper. They've got some different colors going on. This one is, it's nude, but it's got this really pretty kind of golden gloss to it that still gives you this nude-like appearance, but just gives you a little bit of a shine. This is gorgeous over like a purple or a red lipstick. Absolutely love it. And it's a little bit cooling on the lips, but it's not like a lot of plumpers where you put it on and you're like, oh my God, did I just put acid on my lips? It's not like that. It just has a little bit of a cooling effect to the skin, but it's not uncomfortable at all. They've also come out with their color statement lipsticks. And I've always loved the color statement lipsticks, but I'm really liking some of the colors they've come out with recently. This one is Teddy Bear, and it's this really pretty just like a mauve-y nude that I just absolutely love. This one is in Honey Rose. And again, just this kind of tea rose kind of color. They're just beautiful. I love this formula. So not only have the color statement lipsticks always been gorgeous, but this formula has always been a long-lasting formula. For a bullet lipstick, it actually does last a long time on the lips, and it performs actually quite well. So some of these color statement lipsticks are some of my favorite drugstore lipsticks. And then you just put this ludicrous gloss on top of it. I can't get over this ludicrous gloss, you guys. This ludicrous gloss is like my new favorite toy from the drugstore. I have this stuff in my purse all the time. I've had so many people ask me, what lip gloss is that you have on? It is amazing, and you should see it like outside in the sunshine when the sun hits all those little 3D sparkles that are in there. It's ridiculous. It is so beautiful. So definitely check out the Milani Ludicrous Lip Gloss. I think this might be my favorite. All right, you guys, we have been here forever talking about all of these drugstore products, and honestly, we still haven't talked about everything, but we will have to leave that for another video. Let me know if you guys have checked out any of the products that we talked about today, what you guys think about what's new coming out in the drugstore in 2020. Do you think the drugstore space is stepping it up a little bit? What do you think about the prices? Let me know in the comment section down below. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Listen, if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave because it really helps me out a ton. Feel free to share the video with friends and family because that is the only way we're going to grow the channel in this very non-micro influencer friendly environment here on YouTube. If you haven't followed me over on Instagram at Erica Approved, make sure you're doing that as well. And I think that's it, guys. Listen, as always, I hope you guys are all very, very happy and very, very healthy. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah.